Hamas says it is ready to negotiate truce proposal. It was not immediately clear whether the group was demanding any significant changes to the plan for a 60-day truce, hostage for prisoner swaps and talks on a permanent end to the Gaza war. The Palestinian militant group Hamas said on Friday that it had responded positively to a new proposal for a 60-day Gaza ceasefire with Israel and was ready to immediately enter negotiations on implementing it. It was not immediately clear whether Hamas was demanding any significant changes to the proposal and whether any gaps could be easily bridged or create new hurdles to an agreement. The two sides have come close before to such agreements, only to see them unravel at the last minute over the details. President Trump said on Tuesday that Israel had agreed to the conditions for a temporary truce, and he called on Hamas to do the same. The movement submitted the response to mediators, Hamas said in a statement late Friday night, adding it was characterized as being positive. The proposal calls for hostage for prisoner swaps and negotiations leading to a permanent end to the nearly two-year-old war in Gaza. Mr. Trump said earlier this week that he had been pressuring Israel and Hamas to make a deal ahead of a visit by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu of Israel to Washington on Monday. Make the deal in Gaza, Mr. Trump posted on Truth Social on Sunday, directing the message at Israel, before warning Hamas it will not get better, it will only get worse if it did not sign on. Gideon Sa'ar, the Israeli foreign minister, said there were positive signs in the efforts to reach a new ceasefire and Israel was eager for talks to resume as soon as possible. The primary obstacle to getting a deal between Hamas and Israel has been the permanence of any ceasefire. Hamas has insisted on a lasting end to the war before releasing all the remaining hostages. But Mr. Netanyahu said that Hamas's military and governing capabilities must be dismantled. The war began with an Hamas-led attack from Gaza on October 7, 2023. It killed about 1,200 people, according to Israel, and some 250 other people were abducted to Gaza. Israel believes up to 20 living hostages remain in Gaza. Israel's retaliation has killed more than 57,000 Palestinians, including thousands of children, according to the Gaza Health Ministry, which does not distinguish between civilians and combatants. Almost all of the roughly 2 million Palestinian residents of Gaza have been displaced at one point during the war, many of them repeatedly, and hunger is widespread. Image people briefed on the new proposal have said it calls for the handover of 10 living hostages and the remains of 18 others during the 60-day ceasefire in exchange for a number of Palestinian prisoners. The releases would be staggered over 5 stages, and Hamas would have to refrain from holding televised handover ceremonies like those it staged during the ceasefire earlier this year. The ceremonies infuriated Israelis, who saw them as humiliating. Steve Witkoff, the White House's special envoy brokering the truce talks, had previously advanced a proposal for a 60-day cessation of hostilities that was supposed to lead to a broader deal. As in the last truce, the new one would require Israel to pull back troops deployed in Gaza. But the details of that pullback were not immediately clear. The new proposal also states that the United States and the Arab mediators, Qatar and Egypt, will ensure that serious negotiations to end the war will take place during the truce. Mr. Netanyahu has resisted ending the war, with far-right members of his fragile coalition threatening to bring down his government if he agreed to such a deal. While the truce talks were stalled, the Prime Minister had been pushing Mr. Trump to target Iranian nuclear sites, which the American leader ordered the United States to bomb in June. Editor's picks. How to have the perfect summer. 20 wines to drink right now. How AI made me more human, not less. Since that 12-day campaign against Iran ended late last month, the Prime Minister's popularity appears to have risen at home, possibly making him less reliant on the support of his far-right ministers. But there is a new unknown. Hamas has a new de facto leader in Gaza, Eldin al-Haddad, who Israel says took over the military wing after its forces killed the former Hamas leader, Mohammed Sinwar. Mr. al-Haddad helped to plan the October 7 attack and is thought to strongly oppose efforts to dislodge Hamas from power. In an Al Jazeera documentary that aired in late January, he stated his terms, which include Israel withdrawing from Gaza, ending the war, releasing Palestinian prisoners, allowing reconstruction in the enclave and lifting restrictions on the entry and the exit of goods. The leadership of the occupation, supported by America and the West, will have to submit to our just demands, he said.